netflix.com/TYT, and you get a month free. When Shep Smith gets angry, we get amused. It's always fun for everybody. And he's usually on the right side of things. So now he's going to take on Judge Napolitano on Fox News over the BP oil spill. Clip number 3.
We have all grown too accustomed to relying on the federal government to make so many decisions that in years past were made by private industry where their own money was at risk. So the government doesn't lose anything if it bungles this. The oil companies have no choice, Shep, but to rely on what the government tells them. The permitting process is not like getting a permit to build an addition on your house. It takes years to comply with. And in order to comply with it, you have to show that you recognize the government statistics and you comply with them. So if the government makes a mistake and you rely on it, you make a mistake. The government relied in 2008 and 9 on computer models that were created in 2004. And those computer models were either outdated or erroneous. So on the basis of this erroneous information, the government says, don't dig in 500 feet where Governor Jindal says you can dig, where you want to dig, where we know you can easily control a spill. Dig in 5,000 feet where our environmentalist folks think you should dig.
I'm getting kind of grossed out, Judge. You blaming the government for this?
I'm blaming the government for this.
Judge,
I'm not blaming the government
BP
for
had more safety violations than all of the other oil companies in the country combined times 10. They cut corners at they cut corners everywhere. The nightmare well. The list of BP is this long, and then they stand in front of us, call us litigious, and act as if we've done something bad. That horrible man. And now you're going to turn around and blame the government for these bumbling, fumbling, crazy people?
You can sue BP, and rightly so, for every mistake they've made, and they will pay for every mistake they've made. You can't sue the government when it gives out erroneous information and oil companies rely on it. Why? Because Congress has insulated the bureaucrats that work for the federal government from liability in lawsuit. So if the government gives out bad statistics and an oil company relies on it and something goes wrong, the oil company gets sued, not the government and not the bureaucrats that work for the government.
How does it feel to be standing up for BP?
I am not standing up for BP.
And standing against the government for BP. I mean, I know you're all anti-government.
I'm standing for the rule of law, and the rule of law should be that the government should not tell everybody how to run their business when the government is incompetent to tell them how to do so. And this is a perfect example of it. The decision as to where to drill should be made by those who would risk money and lose money if the drill went wrong, not by bureaucrats who didn't know what they were doing.
So we need fewer regulations, not more, on the oil industry. A lot of people down there, a lot of hurt.
In Katrina, the locals were incompetent to clean up.
Yeah,
here,
everybody was. It wasn't just the locals.
Correct. Here, the locals are competent to clean up, and the feds won't let them do so.
Yeah, that was the problem. The government was too lax, and BP said, no, I want to do more safety. Please, please, let me spend more money to do more safety. And the government wouldn't allow them. And the environmentalists said, don't drill at 500 feet. Drill at 5,000 feet. Which environmentalists say that? Really? Name one. Give me one quote, Judge Napolitano, of an environmentalist saying, no, I want you to dig deeper, not shallower. Totally made up. Doesn't exist. It's a nonsense talking point created by Rush Limbaugh. And then he's trying to throw it out there. And if the government had just let BP take all the precautions they wanted to take, they wouldn't have had safety violations that are equivalent to, as Shep said, all the other companies combined times 10. Okay. Oh, come on. Who are you kidding, man? And apparently one of the guys you're not kidding is Shep Smith. Who doesn't love it when Shep says, I'm getting kind of grossed out? And then refers to BP's CEO as that horrible man. I love his adjectives. So, look, he took him to task for it, and I like it. Look, at some point, and then, of course, at the end, Napolitano on Katrina, too, takes a little shot. Says, oh, yeah, the locals screwed that up. You know, if it was up to Bush, he'd have handled it just right. But those damn locals. And here, apparently, the locals want to fix it, and somehow they're going to, but Obama's not letting them? In the middle, Napolitano actually had a decent point about how there shouldn't have been a $75 million cap in the first place. Like BP has a cap of damages of $75 million by the law. Now, that's government doing the wrong thing. Okay, I'm with you, Judge Napolitano. So we want to remove that cap and make it $10 billion. That's what the Democrats are in favor of right now. Guess who's against it? You guessed it. Judge Napolitano. So, what happened there? Oh, no. BP, trust them. They would have done it right in the first place. And, and I'm sure they'll pay whatever they need to pay eventually voluntarily. Yeah, that's usually how it works out. They have no shame. And I love that Shep called them out on it. And I'll tell you something else. Shep being on Fox News is very important because he's the only guy on there serving that audience, which does not get anything else, making them go, wait a minute, Shep does have a good point. Wait, didn't BP do this, not the government? So anybody injecting a little bit of reality into the Fox News audience is doing everybody a great favor. Can you go to Netflix right now and get it?
Hell no, you can't!
That's the wrong audio. Of course you can. Don't be ridiculous. Netflix.com/TYT.